far as next steps here, we're going to walk through, why upgrade to the latest VBVoice. Often can be a daunting task. I mean, if we're talking, large application, a very old system, perhaps some outdated hardware. There's a number of hurdles that folks run into when you're looking to do an upgrade. So, first of all, the benefits, of course. Why do you want to upgrade? Well, future-proof is always top of mind for us in support. When we encounter a system that may have sat on a shelf somewhere for years and years, and all of a sudden, due to network requirements, it's time to upgrade that operating system. Now we have an IVR that may be so far out of date that not just from an application development perspective, but from a hardware perspective, we're hitting some hurdles. The old cards that are in the system are no longer supported on the latest drivers. You have, retired boards perhaps, or, server hardware itself. Now you're looking at, going out and having to purchase and replace these things, perhaps on a tighter timeline than you would have liked, maybe, due to a server hardware failure. So definitely forward-thinking and planning for upgrade, is always best approach as far as we're concerned. So Amr touched on the pooled licensing model. We won't go into too great a depth of detail on that for this seminar, but basically what we're talking about is being able to pool licenses, and we're talking the VBVoice runtime licenses. That's that RTM that Amr mentioned, where we host our licenses. Basically being able to pool those licenses into a single RTM and making that RTM available to multiple IVRs that you may host on your network, or even pulling those licenses from across the internet, maybe from a remote or end user site that you have. The benefits there is the manageability of it. You can take advantage of a redundancy model to be able to have failover put in place, so that if you're 72 hours, but otherwise it really makes it a lot easier to manage. Then you're just looking at throttling the licenses for each IVR, and that's done from the IVR end. You dictate in your application how many channels that application is going to grab. So very effective model. The IVR guard, we're going to go into details here on. That's a new product for Pronexus, and what it is a monitoring software that we tie into Heroics, and I think we'll touch on that a little bit further in the next one. But basically, monitor your IVR server, and now with IVR Guard, the ability to monitor your application from a performance standpoint, from a SLA standpoint, from a support standpoint. It's gaining benefits. And of course, being able to run your applications on a virtual machine. We've had virtual machine capabilities for a couple releases now, but it's really hitting its stride now, I would say, as far as being able to, again, run that VBVoice runtime manager or license hoster on a virtual machine. The redundancy that comes along with virtual machine, network manageability, footprint, the list goes on as far as the benefits with virtual machine. But of course, when we're dealing with virtual machines, we're dealing with the voice over IP system, not with a system with cards. So some incentive there anyways to go to virtual machine. And of course, if you are running modularity, you have the ability to run cards on the host system and then pass calls to virtual machines running slave applications. So number of different options there.